If you're listening to this transmission, you are one of the survivors. You hold the hope of the future. The hubris and gluttony of my generation left the earth a barren battlefield. We wanted it all and ended up with nothing. We thought wealth and status meant everything. In the end, it meant nothing. We could not see, we could not envision the future that our selfish behaviors would create. We are considered a world power, a peak civilization, but the fact is, we make nothing tangible. We do not create, we only manage. We were bankers, but not of money, of electronic currency. We were administrators, but there was no product, only layer upon layer of administration. Perhaps our most heinous crime was that we argued over how to manage. We wasted unimaginable amounts of time, money, and effort arguing the minutiae and accomplished nothing. Opposing parties and factions formed as animosities grew. Small philosophical differences created rifts between fellow countrymen. Leaders were powerless to overcome the perceived differences. No path to unity or compromise could be found. The divisions quickly built into physical confrontations. It could be said that minutia is dissolving civilization's core from within. At the same time, terrorism and gangs eroded its edges. In response to fears, walls went up. Not just the physical restraints like those found on political borders, but mental barriers, preventing the sharing of knowledge and culture with others who might look or believe somewhat different than what we were comfortable with. Byproducts of our gluttony pollute our environment, making it unlivable. The energy needed to maintain our exaggerated lifestyle, full of toys and amusements, produces carbon dioxide in amounts sufficient to raise the atmospheric temperature of the Earth at a rate that results in massive habitat destruction. The only time in recorded history that this level of destruction occurred was the nuclear bombs which exploded over Japan at the end of World War II. That destruction, horrific reminder of the callousness of war that it was limited to a small geographic area. The destruction, caused by the carbon dioxide, pushed the current rate of extinction far above normal. Yet we remain blind to this problem. We view ourselves as the peak of the evolutionary change. The near extinction of the bald eagle and the loss of a few species of fish seem far removed from our dinner tables and grocery stores. I am sorry that our eagles blinded us. Warmer ocean water does not have the ability to support the oxygen-supplying algae. I'm sure it sounds immensely ridiculous to you now, but our need for energy seems to surpass our need to breathe. The loss of habitat and climate changes did not seem to be a problem for humans at first, but as farmland decreased, food shortages occurred. The first to suffer and die were the poor in third world countries, specifically the African states. Even then, we did not understand we were the problem. We continued to build large energy-hungry homes on the land that previously been farmland. We built roads and dams and altered the path of rivers. Yet we did not understand that all this effort would in the end change nothing. There is only so much water on earth. Treat it with respect. We were not able to. Be equally respectful of education. The enormity of its promise seems lost to us. We relegate education to the status of a chore, a grind, an imposition on our time. In a world without education, we are, as you can attest, doomed. Without education, we cannot learn from our mistakes. We cannot engineer a better future, and we cannot look beyond the little we know for answers to problems we have no solution for. Yet education is not treasured. It is often the subject of minutiae debates. I have often wondered what might happen if the money and effort spent arguing over how best to teach was instead spent on teaching. Such is the state of the world from which I record this speech. If we had done things differently, perhaps turned to alternative energy sources and not been the gluttonous consumers of energy we are, the carbon dioxide levels might not have resulted in massive habitat destruction and food shortages. If we had developed unity across all boundaries, racial, religious, and geopolitical, perhaps we could have avoided the wastefulness, divisiveness of political entities and worked together to develop solutions to our mutual problems. We might have valued education for the gift that it is and bestowed it upon every child. Perhaps, if we had acted the way respectful and caring people would have, My future and your present would hold more promise for a better world. I send you this not as a warning, but as an apology for our arrogant ways and our narrow-minded schemes. I am so sorry for the world we left you. I leave you this in hopes that you, and other survivors like you, will learn from our mistakes and rebuild the human race to value and demonstrate respect of others, of the environment, and of peace. May God have mercy on us all.